In 2025, the housing market is not adjusting, it's not softening, it's collapsing. And the speed of this crash has caught millions off guard. From coast to coast, property values are crumbling. Equity is vanishing faster than it did during the Great Recession. Entire neighborhoods that once symbolized upward mobility are now flooded with price cuts, foreclosures, and stalled construction sites. For years, the narrative was simple. Real estate only goes up, but in city after city, that story has turned into a nightmare. People bought homes in bidding wars, paying $50,000 or even $100,000 over asking. They stretched their savings, locked in at low rates, and moved fast. Now, they're trapped in homes worth far less than they paid. Their mortgage balances are higher than the market value, and selling means a painful loss, if they can even find a buyer. This is not a local issue. This is not just one state. This is a national unraveling of one of the biggest speculative bubbles in modern history, and nowhere is it hitting harder than these 10 U.S. cities, where the housing market has moved from overheated to overexposed. Number 10. Denver. Colorado, once a tech boom paradise. Denver surged as a destination for high-income earners during the pandemic years. From 2020 to 2023, home prices climbed more than 50%. That increase pushed the median home value to nearly $600,000, well beyond what most families could afford. Now in 2025, the consequences are showing. Inventory has surged by over 38%. New listings pile up every week, but demand continues to vanish. The average home in Denver now sits on the market for over 75 days, and more than 40% of listings are receiving price cuts. Tech layoffs across the Denver metro area, especially in Boulder, Centennial, and Westminster, have removed thousands of high-paying jobs. And without that income base, the housing demand collapses. Mortgage payments that once seemed doable under low interest rates are now reaching absurd levels. That a family buying a home for $570,000 today faces a monthly mortgage of nearly $4,000. Before taxes, insurance, and utilities. In 2025, more Denver buyers are walking away from contracts than any year since 2009. The city is slipping into a sustained housing correction, and the road to recovery looks longer every month. Number 9. Sacramento. California. Sacramento became the great escape for Bay Area residents seeking affordable housing. From 2020 to 2022, prices exploded as tech workers fled the high costs of San Francisco and San Jose. Homes that once cost $370,000 skyrocketed to over $550,000, but that demand was temporary. And now that remote work has faded and mortgage rates have surged, Sacramento is crashing. Home values have already dropped by over $90,000 on average. But the pain is just beginning. Inventory has jumped by more than 46%. Sellers are flooding the market, yet buyers have pulled back completely. The average time on market is now over 70 days and growing longer each quarter. Worse, Sacramento has one of the highest rates of adjustable rate mortgages in the state. Many buyers locked in teaser rates that have now expired. Thousands of families are seeing their monthly payments rise by $1,000 to $2,000 per month, and they can't refinance because their homes are now worth less than what they owe. Even the rental market is softening. With more properties turning into forced rentals, monthly rents are dropping. Landlords are struggling to find tenants. Cash flow is negative, and investors are walking away. Sacramento is no longer the cheaper alternative to the Bay Area. It's one of the hardest hit cities in California's housing meltdown. Number 8. Tampa. Florida. For years, Tampa was one of Florida's fastest growing markets. People came for the weather, the tax advantages, and the lifestyle. Investors piled in. Short-term rentals exploded, and the city's population grew by tens of thousands each year. But the market got too hot, too fast. Home prices reached an average of $383,000. That number has now declined to just over $360,000, and falling fast. Inventory is up over 55% compared to last year. Homes are now sitting for 70 to 90 days without offers, and sellers are cutting prices by $30,000, $50,000, even $100,000 just to stay competitive. Insurance costs have doubled. HOA fees and property taxes are up across the region, and hurricane risk is spooking both banks and buyers. The short-term rental boom has turned into oversupply. Occupancy rates are down, Revenues are crashing. Many owners are cash flow negative and listing their homes out of desperation. Tampa is not just cooling. It's falling apart from within. The crash here is deep and accelerating. Number 7, Bakersfield. California. Bakersfield was once the last stop for affordable home ownership in California. It was the working family's dream. Safe, suburban, and within reach. But those dreams were priced out. From 2020 to 2022, home prices nearly doubled, soaring from $240,000 to more than $440,000. Now, the reversal is brutal. The average home sits unsold for more than 80 days. Inventory is piling up across every zip code, and desperate sellers are slashing prices by $50,000 to $100,000. Monthly payments have surged to over $3,200, far more than local wages can support. With a median household income under $70,000, most buyers are locked out, and the investor crowd has completely vanished. Flippers are stuck with unsold properties. Builders are halting new projects midway, and some homeowners are simply walking away. What was once the symbol of California affordability is now a textbook crash zone. Number 6, Dallas. Texas. Dallas was one of the fastest growing metros in the country. Jobs were plentiful, land was cheap, builders were busy, but the rapid growth created a market imbalance. Prices surged by over 80% between 2019 and 2020. Now, the bubble is bursting. Inventory has jumped by more than 45%. Homes are taking longer to sell, averaging 75 days on the market, and over half of all listings are seeing price reductions. Many buyers are pulling out at the last minute. Mortgage applications have fallen off a cliff, and investors are dumping properties they can no longer afford to carry. Corporate relocations are slowing, and high property taxes are making ownership less attractive. Even high-end neighborhoods like Frisco and Plano are seeing home prices fall by over $100,000. The Dallas market is correcting, and for many, it's too late to escape the damage. Number 5, Sedona. Arizona. Sedona was once seen as the luxury retreat of the Southwest, a peaceful desert town turned high-end hideaway. During the pandemic, demand exploded. Homes that sold for $500,000 were suddenly listed at over $1 million, but that luxury demand has vanished. Prices have fallen sharply, especially at the high end. Inventory is up more than 35%, and homes are now sitting unsold for more than 100 days. Insurance costs, especially wildfire premiums, have skyrocketed. Wealthy buyers are fleeing to lower-risk markets, and those who bought at the top are stuck with properties worth hundreds of thousands less than they paid. Local incomes can't support the housing costs, and now the town's fragile economy is feeling the squeeze. Tourism is down. Second home buyers are gone. Sedona's crash has exposed just how inflated the luxury market really was. Number 4, Las Vegas. Nevada. Las Vegas was booming just 2 years ago. Remote workers, investors, and Californians flooded in. Prices soared from $290,000 to nearly $460,000. But the bubble has burst. Inventory has more than doubled. Over 40% of homes now have price cuts. Many of those cuts exceed $100,000. Short-term rentals are underperforming. Tourism jobs remain unstable, and a wave of speculative buyers are trying to sell. Before things get worse, Las Vegas has a long history of boom and bust, and in 2025 it's clear which side of the cycle it's on. Number 3, Boise, Idaho. Boise was once the poster child of pandemic growth. It saw more inbound migration than almost any other city. Prices doubled, construction exploded, and now it's collapsing. Inventory has surged. Homes sit for 140 days or more. Builders are offering massive incentives just to get attention, and many homeowners are underwater. Investor demand has dried up. Rents are falling. Vacancies are rising. The Boise housing market is coming undone, brick by brick. Number 2, Cape Coral. Florida. Cape Coral lured buyers with water views, new builds, and the promise of Florida living at half the cost. For a time, it worked. Prices soared to nearly $500,000, but then reality hit. Insurance premiums skyrocketed to over $9,000 per year. Hurricane risks and rising sea levels scared off banks and buyers. Builders are now offering $60,000 incentives just to move inventory. Listings have tripled. Buyers are retreating. Cape Coral is now facing the sharpest reversal in all of Southwest Florida. Number 1, Phoenix. Arizona. Phoenix was the darling of the pandemic boom. Prices jumped from $300,000 to over $510,000. Now it's ground zero for the crash. Inventory has quadrupled. Over 55% of listings have major price reductions. FHA. Defaults are rising. Flippers are gone. New subdivisions are half built and half empty. Phoenix is leading the nation in home value destruction. This crash is not theoretical. It's real, and it's rewriting the map of American housing. Equity is vanishing. Mortgages are defaulting. Construction is stalling. Millions are affected. Stay informed. Stay prepared. Subscribe now to Next Recession Network, because the collapse isn't over, and the next city to fall could be closer than you think.